So today I want to talk to you guys about anxiety, and this is now my 5th time filming this video, and every time I film it, it just gets really long. It gets to like 20 minutes, and I feel like that's such a long video to sit through, and I feel like sometimes shorter videos are more, I don't know, I feel like you can remember more from it, because sometimes if I'm filming too long just blabbering on, then you don't really get that much from it. So basically, I'm just going to explain to you guys my anxiety situation, and then I'll kind of tell you guys some tips that helped me along with it. And if you guys do want me to film a longer video, I can totally do that. I just want to keep it short, and sweet just to start with. So I never realized I had anxiety until probably like I'm going to say like 10th grade. I probably realized it, and I ended up realizing that I have had anxiety since 4th grade. Ever since 4th grade, I would always get to school and I would just be so, at the time I didn't know what it was, but now looking back, it was just, I was so anxious feeling, and I always just wanted to either like fight it or flight it, and I was always just wanting to, go home, not go to school. And that's something that I've realized, that my anxiety is definitely school related. And I mean, I do have anxiety with like other situations, but it's definitely more related to school. And so, figuring that out, I kind of had to take steps to kind of help it. So once I got to 12th grade, that's when my anxiety went like insane. It was so crazy. I literally would have anxiety attacks. It would start at like 12 in the morning, and then it would go on till like 7 in the morning, and I would just be throwing up the entire night. I'll be shaking, just feeling so anxious. And that's when I just kind of realized, like, what the heck is wrong with me? Like, why am I going through this? And then one time it happened, I think it was maybe 7 or 8 o'clock at night is when I started getting anxiety. I started throwing up, and it didn't stop until I think it was like 7 or 6 in the morning. And at that point, my parents, like, we have to take you to the hospital. Like, you're going to get dehydrated. You've just been throwing up all night with this anxiety. So that's kind of when I decided that I had to change. I couldn't, live my life like this anymore. It was crazy. Like, you can't live your life with anxiety. And the thing with anxiety is, like, if you don't solve your problem with anxiety, then you're not going to, like, be able to live your life. You don't want to look back at life and be, like, even for me, I can look back at my life and say I wasted like 5 or 8 years of my life just being so anxious when I could have been, living my life so happy and so carefree, and that's what I should be doing. I'm only 20 years old. I should be so happy right now and not always feeling nervous or anxious. So that's when I started to do things to help my anxiety, and I am like a very shy person. I'm very quiet. I'm very to myself, and I've always been like that. High school was probably like the worst thing ever for me. I absolutely hated high school. College has been so much better. So I feel like college has definitely helped me with my anxiety, just because people, at least in my college, are so nice. I went to a Catholic high school where everyone was very, I don't know, they had a lot of money. They could get whatever they wanted. They always just seemed very rich and spoiled, and I think just because, like, I'd always go to school feeling like I had no friends, and I just hated everything, so it was just so, like, negative, and that's something with anxiety. You have to stay positive. So before I start rambling more, I'm going to get into what has helped me with my anxiety. So the first thing is this book, and this is called the Anxiety and Phobia Workbook. This is the 5th edition by Edmund J. Bourne. This is what it looks like. So basically, one night I decided, I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Thank God Barnes & Noble's open till 11, because I think it was like at like 10:30 or 10:40, I was like, I need to go to Barnes & Noble and get myself this book. So I just like rushed to Barnes & Noble. I live like a couple minutes from it. So I got it, and I just like stayed awake all night and went through this book, and this book is seriously amazing. It tells you basically where your anxiety comes from and, what is causing it. And I never realized what really caused my anxiety. And this is like kind of personal, I guess, but I figured out that it was my mom that caused my anxiety. So I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. I've told her before, but basically, going through the book, it made me realize, because my mom is like very protective. She's always very concerned, you know, like every other mom out there. And cutie. Okay. So, you know, she's always very concerned about everything. So before I would go out somewhere, she'd say, "Oh my gosh, it's getting dark. You can when it's dry." Wow, I can't talk. She's like, you know, it's dark. When you're driving in the dark, you can get in a car accident. You may not be able to see deer. You might get hit by a deer, or you might hit a deer. You know, or if I'm driving in the snow, oh my gosh, it's snowing out. You can slide. Your car might like spin out of control. And it was just always something. Okay, sorry about that. My camera just died, so I had to plug it in so it's on like a different angle now. But yeah, so I was saying my mom, you know, she would say it's snowing, you know, your car can slide, you can get in a car accident easy, or you know, if you go outside walking right now, there could be some guy out there, you never know what's going to happen. And you know, she was doing it in a way just to make me aware of everything, but I felt like every single time I'd want to go somewhere, there would always be something that she would say to me that would make me nervous that I'm going to get hurt or something's going to happen. So I think it kind of came to a point for me where I was like, you know what, it's easier just to stay home all the time and not have to worry about my mom worrying about me. So I did definitely stay home a lot and not go out. Anyway, so this book really helped me figure it out, and it gives you different exercises you can do, different you know, foods that are good for you, things that are bad for you with anxiety, like caffeine. You know, it really helps a lot. So the next thing is, when I went to the doctors to talk about my anxiety, they either recommended that I go see a therapist to talk to someone, or I go on medication. And I am not one to talk about my feelings or emotions or anything like that. I, once again, took matters into my own hands and kind of just figured out something that would work for me. So I went to my health food store, and it was just a local health food store, so it's not really like a chain like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. So basically, they have this whole section of like homeopathic remedies, like not remedies, but like bottles of different things you guys can, you know, try out. And they had this one, which is for nervousness and anxiety, formulated for associated symptoms such as nervous discomfort, irritability, racing thoughts, restlessness, tension, and worry. So reading this, I was like, these are basically all the symptoms that I have. And this is what the bottle looks like. So basically, it's just these little droppers. And I don't like taking medicine. I'm like a very natural person, I guess. I don't like to put anything bad in my body or, you know, anything like that. So even I don't take like Midol. I take an all-natural supplement that's supposed to help. But anyway, so this is basically just this little dropper, and you kind of just, you know, suck in the drops, and then you take 6 of them. And this, seriously, is so amazing. It really just helps you to feel like so relaxed. And you know, when you have anxiety, your heart is racing, you feel like you can't breathe. This literally just makes everything feel so clear inside of you. Like you feel like you can breathe, you feel so calm and relaxed, and I really recommend this. Even though, you know, I'm giving you guys these examples of things you can do, I'm not saying this is going to cure your anxiety, because I still get anxiety, but now when I get it, I know how to handle it differently. And there was this quote, or something that someone said on Twitter to do. They're like, close your eyes and imagine the best you possible, or imagine yourself in a situation. So for me, I hate talking in front of people, so public speaking, presentations, I absolutely hate it. So normally I will close my eyes, I imagine myself, or before I go to bed, I'm just imagining myself doing a presentation, messing up, you know, turning bright red, shaking, not being able to talk. And instead of doing that, just close your eyes, or, you know, just think in your head of you doing amazing. So what I do is I picture myself being super calm, being relaxed, just saying what I need to do and getting it over with, and just not even thinking twice about it. And it helps so much. And with anxiety, there's like this whole thing. It's either like you fight it or you flight it. So, you know, there's so many different things you can do. And for me, one of my things that would get me super anxious was the ocean. I used to love the ocean. Long story short, something happened. I ended up getting so freaked out by it, and I went on vacation with my boyfriend, and every year we go to Long Beach Island together, and I get so nervous to go in the ocean, and this time I just decided to get over my fear and to just basically like go for it. Because I saw this saying, and it was kind of like divided into two sections. It's like God's voice and then Satan's voice. And it's like God's voice comforts you, reassures you, like wants you to have fun. And then Satan's voice makes you anxious, just comforts you, rushes you, pushes you. So that went through my head, and I was like, I have to get over this. I was like, God would want me to go in the ocean and have so much fun. So I literally just went into the ocean. My boyfriend turned around because he was already in the water, and he's like, what? And it turned out to be one of the best days ever. We literally were having so much fun in the water. We ended up turning around, and there was nobody on the beach. We were in the water for hours. It ended up being 6 o'clock, and we just had so much fun. And I was like, why was I so anxious, just to go in the water? So sometimes just fighting what you're, anxious about really does help. And other times it's okay to say no if you are super anxious about something. And one of the things I've been doing lately is just reminding myself to be in the present. Don't think about the future, because there's this saying, it's like anxiety comes from thinking about the future, depression comes from thinking about the past, and happiness comes from thinking about the now. So it's so true, because thinking about the future is basically what gives you anxiety. So every time you start to think about something, just say no. Think about what's happening right now, because why do you even need to think about something that may or may not happen? I think you just really need to think about what's happening now. Just focus on being happy and being really positive. Say to yourself, from now on, I'm not going to think any negative thoughts. And I know it's really hard, but it's something that will definitely help you. So if I can think of anything else that I missed out on, I will definitely put it in the description box. But I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and remember just to stay calm and always be happy. So I hope this helps some of you guys, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!